Hello, this is the brand new Polo GTI, and let's get straight to the good news. Because it is now built in South Africa, the new Polo is cheaper than the old Polo. Right, so I suppose this is the part where I take it for a drive. Right, let me take you through this new Polo GTI. 2-litre engine, 147 kilowatts, 320 Newton meters of torque. Now that compares fairly well to its big brother, the Golf GTI, which has 169 and 350. And it is a little bit lighter than a Golf GTI. Not by as much as you would think though, only about 40 to 50 kilograms. In fact, with a 0 to 100 time of 6.6 seconds, the Polo GTI is only 0.2 of a second slower than the Golf GTI. Which makes this quite a quick little car. And to help you through the corners, Volkswagen have come up with something called an XDS differential. Now, it's not a mechanical differential, but what it does is, when you're cornering and the inside wheel is starting to lift and lose a little bit of traction, it transfers the torque and power to the outside wheel, which has got all the grip at that point. And that means that this car has tons of mechanical grip. And if things aren't stiff enough for you, for an extra 5,000 Rand, you get active damper control. So pushing this little button here, we put it in sport mode and everything stiffens up. And you can really feel it. That is a properly worthwhile extra, that. Ah, there we go. Right, let's start with the key. Now, unfortunately, it doesn't say GTI on it, which I think is a little bit of a pity. It does have a traditional flip-up key though, but it doesn't actually go anywhere because this is keyless, and the start button is down here next to the gear knob. Now, the first thing you might notice in the interior is the beautiful red fascia on the dash. You get to pick the color if you want, but if you want a red exterior paint, you can't have a red fascia, which seems a little strange. Keen-eyed viewers also might notice that Volkswagen have gone back to a volume knob up here on the navigation system. I way prefer that to the fiddly sort of touch buttons. The steering wheel is a real highlight, beautiful red stitching with a GTI logo down here, and looking through the steering wheel at the active info display, which, keep in mind, is a 9,000 Rand optional extra. That looks particularly good. The software, the look and feel is actually unique to the Polo GTI. Now, Volkswagen have thrown in a couple of standard features, but keep in mind you will have to pay for some nice things like the sunroof, for instance, which is about 10,000 Rand. But they have thrown in some curtain airbags, which go all the way to the rear passengers, and 2 USB ports. Very generous. Now, the next question we have to answer, does it Vrr-Pha? Yeah, that kind of was a Vrr-Pha, I think. Let's try again. 5,000 RPM, 5.5, change up. Ah, it's more of a, yeah, it's more of a Vrr-Pha. Vrr-Pha? But let me take you a little bit more through how this car handles. So we spoke about that trick diff earlier and the fact that it can handle 1G through the corners, and here we are, turn 2 at Killarney, all the way down to second gear. Let's nail the throttle on the exit. Deals with the understeer really well. Run the car out wide. That's very good. You can get on the throttle early and just stay on. Down to the sweeping turn 3. Bit bumpy through there. Run the car out wide. This car is very easy to place. The nose is very easy to place. And let's try the lift-off oversteer here through the double apex turn 4. Lift off. Oh, that's good. Very progressive. You can catch that really nicely. Doesn't sort of surprise you. It doesn't try bite you. This is a fun little car. Oh, I'm enjoying this. It changed for me. I didn't ask you to change, Polo. Stop it. I'm driving here. As fun as this car is, it still feels like Volkswagen is playing it safe with the Polo GTI. We think this chassis could handle quite a bit more power, and that Volkswagen may have left space in the lineup for a hotter Polo. Here's hoping for a Polo Club Sport. Come on, Volkswagen, you know you want to. Now, of course, it's always amazing to drive a supercar, a McLaren like we drove recently, or a Porsche or Ferrari. They're incredible. They're always going to be incredible. But the reality is that those cars are so competent. They offer so much grip that to take it to the limit, to take it to the edge of its capabilities is almost insane. You can't do it on public roads, that's for sure. And when you do get to the edge of its limits, you're going to be doing about 280 kilometers an hour, at which point you will have a massive accident and almost certainly die. Whereas when you get in a car like the Polo GTI, you can just dance around its limits. You can take it to the edge of what it can do really safely, actually, especially in an environment like this. And that's where you really enjoy a car. That's where you really enjoy driving. And that's what this car should be all about. It should be about having fun. And I'm so happy to report that it is. Okay, one more lap. Gonna do one more. One more, everyone. I just want to do one more.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed that, maybe give it a like, and definitely subscribe to be the first to see our videos as they drop. Yeah, definitely do that.